Hello, monarchs and miserable wretches. My name is TB Sky, and welcome back to the boss designs of Dark Souls 2, where I'm gonna make an attempt, at the very least, to put an old man to rest. Can I damage him now? No? Oh! Oh, there we go! Oh, he hits like a truck, Jesus. Yeah. Whoa, okay. Oh, he's active now. He's not just wandering around anymore. Let's put an end to it, old man. You have wandered the dark long enough. You have a lot of health for a nearly dead guy. Whoa! And you're very aggressive for one, too. Let's see if we can get you to attack, please. Yeah. Despite being a desiccated corpse, the old king still has some fight in him, I see. Well, at least it's not hard to get to him. It's more of an endurance fight, really. Which makes sense, like, given the story that endurance is the thing. Like, that even effectively in death, Vendrick is stubborn. Because that's the thing that stops you from going hollow too soon, is will. The will to hold on. In spite of everything. And boy howdy is old Vendrick willful. Even in despair, he doesn't quite let go. Okay. Really? Let's not get caught by that again. There we go. It's over. It's enough, old man. You're done. You've been done for a long time, I think. No soul, huh? No soul of Vendrick. He has no soul. Well, with no soul to take to Seldora, I guess Future Skyne is just gonna have to work with what he's got here. Fortunately, Vendrick is a fairly well-explored character. Doorway in Amana is open now. Doorway? The one behind the Dragon Rider? So according to a helpful little tip I got from the chat, the doorway here in the Shrine of Amana is open now. Which is interesting, to be sure. No, don't fall down. I need to snipe from there, Jesus. Oh, okay. Okay. My precious sniper spot. Where I can shoot from cover. Going here with like 100,000 souls, maybe not my best plan ever. The Dragon Rider is gone, though. Did he vanish with Vendrick, or... Let's see, then, what this door hides. Hopefully not something that'll kill me, because, again... No? Just a chair. Soul of the King? It was here? How? This great soul beckoned the dark, overwhelming the king. Perhaps the king who once ruled the world of men was a lacking vessel for the true throne. Use the soul of he who would link the flame to acquire numerous souls or to create something of great worth. What on earth? Is that Vendrick's armor set? I guess it is. Well, look at me looking all royal. What makes a king? Some say it is a birthright, while others call it destiny. Perhaps it is not important as long as the king's name serves to unite his people. Well, I have a feeling that Vendrick in the memory might have something to say about that, at least. Hello, I've killed you.
One day, fire will fade, and dark will become a curse. Men will be free from death, left to wander eternally. Dark will again be ours, and in our true shape, we can bury the false legends of yore. Only, is this our only choice? Seeker of fire, coveter of the throne. Seek strength.
Wait, now what?
The rest will follow.
The memory is gone now. I'd like that shield, though. Like, it's right there. Can I... Okay, no. Okay, fine. So ends Vendrick, I suppose. Seek strength and the rest will follow, huh?
Hello there.
I do indeed have a wondrous soul. The ruler's sword. Soul of the king. I guess his shield is available too? Yes. One fragment of dark, having taken human shape, became obsessed with the king's soul. Impelled by its own cravings, it sought souls, and strove to make the strength of the giants its own. Great Sword of Vendrick, King of Drang Lake. The strength of this sword is relative to the number of souls possessed by its wielder. Effect, attack boosted by souls held. So that's how many souls you have, like, on you, basically. Okay. An ultra great sword forged from the soul of King Vendrick inflicts heavy damage on enemy armor. Only the king knows whether the depiction of the queen is a resentful mockery or an affectionate exaltation. Actually, let's take the ultra great sword.
Come back again.
It's Nashandra herself depicted on the blade. Or blade, I say. This is more of a club than anything, really. I'm gonna go check something. Yeah, that figures. And I think I know where I'll find her, too. I think I know where Nashandra has gone, but we'll leave her for later. And so goes Vendrick, former king of Drang Lake. Well, he was a stubborn old man right up until the end. Stubbornness, I'm sure, served him well in life. Now the question is, what happens to Drang Lake without its monarch, and what happens to us the next time we go near the Throne of Want? Not for me to figure out, though. It's not my problem at all. Future Skyn, you can talk about that stuff. Well, thanks, past Skyn. And yeah, let's talk about Vendrick. I've focused a lot on Dark Souls 2 as a narrative about personal identity, about discovering who you are and making that identity real and encountering various challenges or examples of how identities can fall apart. But one thing that's ultimately common to every Dark Souls 2 player, no matter what their build is, what equipment they have, how they interpret the bosses, what order they go through the game, is that every single one of us arrives in Drang Lake for one reason and one reason alone: to find a cure for the curse. And we are told that in order to find a cure like that, we must seek out the king. Vendrick becomes this goalpost, essentially, for us through much of our journey. The reason why we fight bosses for the Four Great Souls is so that we can gain access to Drang Lake Castle and, so we believe, the king himself, who may have some way to help us avoid the inevitable fate of the undead curse. But even at Drang Lake Castle, we do not find him. Only his queen, who encourages us to keep seeking him out. She also, not so subtly, tries to encourage us to see ourselves as his replacement, someone who can perhaps be a better monarch than him, and to do what must be done, because Drang Lake has no need, as she says, for two rulers. And so onwards our adventure goes, trekking through Drang Lake, following the traces and tracks of the king, all of which leads us to a crypt, a grave, where the king has apparently hidden himself away. Fighting our way past the knights and the many undead things that guard him, finally we come face to face with Vendrick himself, only to find that he has no solution to the curse. He has no cure, because it has claimed him just as surely as it's slowly claiming us. Narratively, this represents a moment of despair. Our best and perhaps only hope at a cure for the curse has just turned out to be nothing but another victim of it. Our only hope now is to transcend him, to gain a greater mastery of the soul than even he was ever able to attain, and ascend the throne as the new monarch of Drang Lake. But this, remember, was never our goal in coming here. We did not seek out kingship. We weren't even compelled by a prophecy. In Dark Souls 1, you are the chosen undead, and you are driven by prophecies and predictions to ring the bells of awakening, then seek out Sen's Fortress and Anor Londo and Guinevere, the four great Lord Souls, and eventually Gwyn himself and Link, or perhaps not, the Fire, determining the fate of the world. But in Dark Souls 2, you are nobody. You're not driven by prophecy, you're not driven by some grand world-spanning conflict. You just want not to succumb to this curse. You didn't come to Drang Lake to become king, you came here to survive. Kingship is essentially thrust upon you as the only possible outcome to your journey. Your identity choices aren't about whether or not to become monarch, it's about what kind of monarch do you want to be. And it is that, the choice of what kind of monarch to become, that is ultimately Vendrick's undoing. As we learn through the game, Vendrick was, by all accounts, a very good king of Drang Lake, until, at least, he made some unfortunate choices. Queen Nashandra convinced him to go on a campaign against the land of the giants, to steal their magic and technology and their powerful souls and bring it back to construct the golems and acquire more power for himself. Queen Nashandra pushed him to seek out as much power as possible. And what breaks his will, what drives him to sequester himself deep beneath the earth in a tomb of his own making, is the realization of what exactly it is that he has done. Because the giants do not take that invasion lying down. They launch their own campaign of violence and horror across the whole of Drang Lake, decimating the kingdom and leaving it in the state in which we find it. Vendrick, at least in his own mind, failed as king. He brought destruction upon his own lands and upon the lands of the giants, all in service of something that he didn't truly believe in. Like the kings we've discussed in the DLC, Vendrick too was driven to downfall by the dark side of himself, the dark shadow that follows in the wake of his ambition, which is desire. Now, had we not gone to Amana and found the king's soul there locked away along with his gear, I would have concluded that Vendrick sequestered himself in the undead crypt to waste away in order to destroy his own soul, in order to deny Nashandra access to the power that she craves from him. Hence the slow and agonizing wasting away, letting the curse eat away at him, draining him of power, draining him of souls, draining him of will until there's no powerful soul left for the queen to claim. Instead, he hid the soul away in the Shrine of Amana, protected by a dragon rider, and accessible only once his own physical form is destroyed, which, same purpose, I suppose, still clearly a ploy to keep his soul out of Nashandra's hands. Having succumbed to that flaw within himself, having become someone that he himself cannot accept, he shares the same fate as everyone whose will is broken by the hardships of the world. He goes hollow. And his character design is a simple but brilliant demonstration of this concept, with his will broken, with his identity shattered by this terrible mistake that he made. All the symbols and signifiers and trappings of his position are discarded on the ground. They fall away from him, revealing only the last thing which is left: a pathetic, naked hollow, shambling around wearing a crown that clearly does not belong on its head. A painful parody of the king that once was. Killing Vendrick doesn't really feel heroic. Although he has an absurd amount of health and he hits like a truck, no point during the fight feels like an epic confrontation with a grand monarch of an ancient kingdom. It doesn't feel like the fight with the Ivory King. It feels more like an act of mercy. It feels like necessary cruelty in the face of suffering. All this build-up, all this frantic, desperate searching for a king whose powers supposedly can save you, it all just leads to a massive anticlimax. And there's a particular irony in that the only place where you can encounter Vendrick as he once was, Vendrick the king, Vendrick the master of Drang Lake, Vendrick who almost mastered the soul, is in memories. Because that's what Vendrick is in Drang Lake. A memory of a better time, a better king, a better world. A memory which people are in many ways desperate to return to. But we know what happens to memories in Drang Lake, don't we? However strong they are, however powerful the emotions associated with them, they fade and darken with time, and they slip out of mind and eventually vanish without ever announcing their passing. And memories can help you, they can guide you, they can point you in the right direction, they can inform your journey, but there is no salvation in memories. They won't save you from the things that the world is going to do to you. They won't protect you from going hollow. In Dark Souls 2, if you want to attain kingship, if you want to transcend the curse, it is not enough to remember what was. You must go out and become. Hey, thank you very much for watching another episode of the Boss Designs of Dark Souls 2. We're closing in on the end now, but still, I need you to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, or at least whichever one of those buttons that you want to hit. Because the algorithm is merciless, it only cares about what it can track, numbers that go up or down. So, with Dark Souls 2 being an old game and the least popular one of its trilogy, this series needs all the help it can get to get, noticed on YouTube at all. If you want to help me out more directly than just with algorithm stuff, I have a Patreon that's for that specific purpose. I have a merchandise store with some stuff on it that you can buy, and I have a tip jar that you can use if you want to. And if you do want to help me out, I'm very grateful for the help, but if not, that's completely okay. But I do want to encourage you to, generally speaking, support the content that you love with whatever direct contribution that you can. Because for online content creators, especially people who have small followings or make niche content, that $1 donation, that little bit of extra pocket change you've got lying around, can literally be the same as thousands of views on a video. That little bit of a contribution makes so much more of a difference than perhaps it feels like. So whether it's me or someone else, if there are online content creators who create work that you enjoy, please consider supporting it directly with anything you can, whenever you can. Given the tumultuous times that we live in, though, perhaps you feel like there are better ways to spend your money, and I can't say that I would disagree. So I do have a link down at the top of the description with links to places where you can donate to bail funds and GoFundMes for people who have been victimized by police violence in the United States right now. Anyway, the last thing I need to promote, and then I'll let you go, is my second channel, where I'm playing through Final Fantasy IX with Final Fantasy X to follow. I'm doing Legends of Runeterra over there every once in a while. I'm playing through Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and we're doing The World Ends With You. So lots of content over there if you're starving for something to watch. You can also find the unedited footage with which I create these episodes archived over on my second channel. So if you want to see all the stuff I get up to in between the funny edits and the text I put on screen to make you laugh, well, that's over there as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to wash your hands and have solidarity with those who are trying to make the world a better place.